Did you know that mosquitoes are attracted to the scent of smelly feet? Hello, YouTube! So of course, it figures after I make last week's video saying I'm not sure if I want to keep making videos every week, I get an idea like the day after for a topic. So, here I stand before you with an idea for a topic the week after deciding we're not going to do videos every single week. Anyway, what I wanted to talk about this week was that wonderful topic of religion. I don't know why it is, but we just can't seem to escape that topic on this show, and we always have really good discussions about it, so I'm always excited to post a video discussing religion. And it also feels like every time we talk about religion, we kind of throw out the last idea we had about it and kind of continue on with a new train of thought about it. Like, you know, it's not like we're continuing the thought from last time, but we're somehow building upon it to increase our thinking. I'm not really sure if that made any sense, but instead of talking about the topic, let's talk about the topic. Random dubstep face. So like I said, we've discussed the topic of religion on this show many times before. And most of the time it's been to sort of pinpoint and figure out what the problem with religion is. And I think we can all agree that through these discussions we've reached some interesting conclusions, to say the least. But a common factor has been that they all point at religion as being a sort of bad thing. These conclusions always seem to say that religion within itself is a bad thing. And through a discussion I had with someone on Facebook, I would like to challenge that thought. I would like to say that I don't think religion in itself is a bad thing. Mainly because religion is just a bunch of doctrines and theologies. Religion by itself can't do much. When it comes down to its core, it's information. Religion doesn't become bad until you throw people into the mix. People who take that information and basically just don't get it. They simply just abuse it and use it for the wrong purposes, and they don't get it. Because if you look at the big picture, not every religious person or religious movement in history has been a bad thing. I mean, yes, you can look at people like Hitler, or you can look at the Crusades. They used God as their motive, or, you know, used God to justify what they were doing. Or you can look at people like Mother Teresa, also claimed what she was doing was for God. I know those are extremes, but who do you think between Hitler and Mother Teresa got it right? Both of these people claim to believe in the same general God. Do you see what I'm saying here? And this sort of example or argument is not just contained to religion. Any information can be abused or taken the wrong way and misused by people. Even things like video games. You can blame school killings or violence in children on video games, but then you can look at someone like me who has been playing video games for a very long time, and I will be the first one to say that not all of them have been nice video games. Lots of them have been violent. But I am not going to go and bomb a school or blow anyone up or kill anyone or shoot anyone. The video game and the information that comes from the video game isn't the factor that really matters. Yes, it can be a factor, but ultimately it comes down to me deciding what to do with that information. I can be smart and realize that those video games are mostly just a form of entertainment, or I can somehow use video games to justify or explain some violent action that I do. Money is another great example of sorts of information or objects that can be abused or misused. You give money to the right people, great, amazing things will happen. You give money to the wrong people, you'll never see that money again. I mean, maybe you'll see it in that person's garage in the form of a bunch of nice cars, but you'll never see it be used for anything for the betterment of humanity. The point I'm trying to make in a general sense here is that people tend to blame religion and things like religion for the problems in the world. People tend to point the finger at just about anything except the mirror. People say, well, this is the cause of that violence, or this is the cause of that bad thing, or this is the cause of poverty. When the reality of the fact is, most of the problems, hurts, pains, poverty, whatever in the world, are caused by humans. It is all our fault. It's not this guy's fault or that guy's fault. It's everybody's fault. Everyone contributes in one way or another to hurt and pain in this world. Everyone has done something wrong, whether it's something huge or something small. There's all wrong things that everyone has done. And the problem at its core is not the video games we play, it's not the religions that we follow, it's not the movies that we watch, it's not the magazines we read, it's the choices we make. Yes, those are influenced by the things we do, but what it comes down to is us. The problem with people is people. The problem with religion is people. The problem with whatever else you want to blame problems on is people. There are studies and research that have been done to prove that there are more than enough resources for everyone in the world to eat and live comfortably and healthily. There is more than enough money to go around for everyone in the world to have equally and still be okay. The main reason there's poverty in the world is because there are people who are not willing to give away all the money that they have. And I'm not pointing the finger, I'm not saying this is how we solve the problem. But I'm trying to help you guys realize that the problem is not somebody else or something else. The problem starts with us. What are we doing that's contributing to the general bad state of the world? And what could we be doing to contribute to the general good state of the world? I will tell you one thing, that from looking at the past and history and even modern times, pointing the finger and saying that's the problem gets you nowhere. Which is ironic because that's what I'm doing right now. But I really feel like I'm not making much sense, so I'm gonna stop there and let you guys contribute what you think to this discussion. And we'll move on to everyone's favorite part of the show, Hero of the Week! Our Hero of the Week this week goes out to a YouTube user named JQ22Films. Now you guys remember last week we talked about deciding whether or not to keep doing Rant as a weekly thing or stop it or whatever. And everyone pretty much agreed that it doesn't really matter to them as long as I keep doing videos sometimes. And JQ22 said something along the lines of, I actually do a really bad job of paying attention, so I have to go back every couple of weeks and watch like 5 videos to stay on track, so it'd probably be better if you didn't make videos every week, because then I could keep track more. Honesty is the best policy. Congratulations, JQ22 Films. You are the Hero of the Week this week. And now for today's shout out! Today's shout out goes out to a YouTube user named Sterling Canada 2. Sterling Canada 2 was not the 10th person to comment on my last video because we didn't have 10 comments. Sterling Canada 2 was actually the last person to comment on my last video. Congratulations, Sterling Canada 2. Shout out to you. Remember, if you'd like a shout out on one of my videos, just be the 10th person to comment on this video and I'll be sure to give you a shout out in the next video. And if you'd really like to comment but don't have anything to say about anything else I've already talked about in this video, here is a weekly Would You Rather. Would you rather have ears in your armpits or eyes? And of course, random faces, you know, if you want to suggest one of those, or whatever you want to suggest or talk about or discuss. It's all, that's what the comments are for. Interaction. Anyway, that's pretty much everything I got to say for today, and the rest of till whenever I see you next time. If you'd like to check out any of my other videos, I think they're up on this side, but I could be wrong. We'll find out when I'm editing. Correct. Anyway, I'm Isaac Goley, and I'm thanking you for joining me once again on Rant. Peace in. Comment and subscribe, comment and subscribe, comment and subscribe. And maybe favorite too.